Yeah, 1.4 inches. Look, there's a lot of things that I don't actually like about the rifle. Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Franklin Armory F17 M4 rifle. So guys, this rifle is chambered in 17 WSM, which is the most powerful rimfire cartridge currently produced. Now here in Australia, this rifle is category C, provided it's limited to 10 round magazines. So it's applicable for people who have got collector's licenses, obviously feral pest controllers, primary producers, and firearm instructors and so forth. So first of all, let me just show you all clear on this, and we'll give you a run by on it. Now there's a few things that have been changed with this, mainly furniture wise, but I'll run you through all that individually. So if you're looking at doing the same thing to yours, then you'll have an idea of what's been done to this rifle. So we'll start off at the barrel here. It is 16 inches chrome moly barrel, so very high quality. Yeah, a lot of the rimfire ARs really go with just lower quality aluminium, and it certainly hasn't been done with this. This is the real deal, just like you'd find on a standard centerfire AR-15. On the end here, I've put a Yankee Hill flash hider / muzzle brake. Now the barrel on this, being 16 inches, a bit shorter than the original 20-inch bull barrel that Franklin Armory originally produced. I want this for feral pest control, so obviously I want something that's that little bit shorter there, easier to manipulate around in the scrub. Now coming back to the handguard here, I've got a M-lock handguard from Aero Precision. Now I needed a decent width handguard, to get over the actual piston system in this rifle. So if you're looking at doing the same, you won't be able to fit a lot of the new slimline handguards that are on the market today. Now coming back to the receiver, 7075 T6 alloy this is, so it's, look, it's pretty decent. The quality that's gone into this is very high, so when you actually look at the specs and compare it to other AR-15s on the market, you really do see that they've gone up a notch with this. They've certainly tried to make a quality product, and from what I can see from it, it certainly is that. Trigger wise, now compatible with all AR triggers naturally, because the lower is just the standard AR lower. So in there we've got the Geissele SSAE two-stage trigger. Any of you guys who have been following me for some time will know, my Ruger SR556, the SR762, various rimfire ARs that I've had, all have the Geissele SSAE trigger in them, because it's just a brilliant trigger. I found no other trigger that I like better than it, so that's why I stick with it. The actual pistol grip here is just a Fab Defense finger groove grip. Now on top here I've just put the Loophole one-piece rings here with the Loophole VX Freedom Rimfire 3-9x40 scope. Now I want to be able to shoot this sighted in at 100, so that it's going to be perfect for feral pest control. So I thought this scope would be the best option for that. Now the charging handle on this, it's an Aero Precision charging handle, so we've got the extended grip on it, so it's going to clear that scope a lot better. Buffer tube at the back here is just mil spec, and on the rear I've just put the Magpul CTR stock. I really like the CTR stocks. They've never let me down, and I just find them comfortable in general. Now I just want to show you the bolt up close here. For anyone who's used to pulling apart an AR-15 will look at this and go, wow, like it's pretty much the real deal. So it pretty much pulls apart exactly the same, so I'll just show you that quickly. Okay, so we've got our firing pin, we've got our cam pin there, and the bolt itself. Now, I'll see if we can get a focus on this. I don't know if we'll get a focus this close to the camera, but you can see there where they've positioned, obviously, the firing pin hole just on the rim there, naturally for the rimfire cartridge. But you know, you've got your real look and feel of the standard AR bolt. So they've done well. Obviously, it's not compatible with a standard AR bolt or anything. There's a few differences, like for example here, your actual extractor is a little bit different as well. So, you know, it's made for obviously the 17 WSM, but the general feel and look of everything is, you know, the real deal. Now the bolt carrier here, as you can see, there's no gas key at the top here because we've actually got a piston system. So in other words, what that means, if you don't understand it, is when the actual cartridge goes off, the gas that goes up the actual bore will go into the gas block, and then that will push an actual piston rod back into the top of the actual bolt carrier here, which will cycle the bolt from there, okay? Now, one of the really good things about this whole system is because the 17 WSM produces, you know, 33,000 PSI, it's got enough pressure to be able to do that. Now, the advantage of it, because you'd probably think, well, why not just have a standard blowback system, you know, like you see in a Ruger 1022? Well, the one good thing about it is that it gives that little bit of lock time, and I mean only like milliseconds, you know, of difference here. Gives you that lock time so that all your dirt and everything goes up and out of the barrel, rather than with a blowback action where it's just going straight back, and you know, you've got a lot of dirt, you know, in the chamber there. So this actual rifle should run really clean. Now, just before I put it back together here, just at the rear, now hopefully I can get a focus on this too. See if it focuses there, yep. So just that little, basically, screw with a nylon piece on the end. Now that's actually to tighten the play between the lower and upper receiver. So anyone who's used to using an AR-15 will know that, you know, that is a major problem. Now, a lot of people will get an Accu wedge, which is an L-shaped wedge that you put it back in the back of the lower receiver, you know, to minimize that. But they've actually got, like I say, a little adjustable screw there that can do that job for you. So they've really thought of everything with this rifle. Now, as for all the working parts, you know, a lot of people want to know, is it the same as the standard AR-15? Yes, the charging handle works there. You know, our dust cover works. The mag release, everything is all the same there. The only thing that's not standard is the actual last round hold open. So on this model that I've got, it doesn't do that. So for me, look, that's a little bit of a disappointment. Now, the factory 10 round mag that comes with the rifle is built like a tank. I mean, it's steel, you can feel it. It's honestly, guys, the weight in this thing is too much in my view. I'd like to see a polymer mag there that doesn't add so much weight to it. Now, I also do have one of their full-length 10-round magazines here, okay, so it can't be loaded any more than 10 rounds. I really like the look of these. They just look way better than this, you know, funny-looking kink coming out the bottom of the mag well, but that's just my like on it. Now, overall weight, guys, we're looking at about 9 pounds, as you see the rifle. So, you know, just around 4.1 kilos. So, look, definitely not a lightweight rifle. But, you know, I've got this sort of set up, I guess, you know, obviously for feral pest control, but a bit of varminting, but just a rifle that I can manipulate around in the scrub fairly easily. So price-wise, guys, they're available from Victorian Armory here in Australia, and you're looking at paying around about $3,000, okay? So, yeah, not cheap, but at the end of the day, it looks like a very high-quality product. All right, so let's get out on the farm now, guys, and get this rifle sighted in. All right, we've got a little bit of wind around today, but hopefully it shouldn't interfere too much with the 1.7. So the ammo that I've got here is the 20 grain tip varmint from American Eagle. Then we've got the 20 grain VMAX from Hornady. Then we've got the 20 grain polymer tip from Winchester. And then last of all, we've got the 25 grain polymer tip from Winchester. So guys, I've bore-sighted it, we should hopefully be pretty much on there at 100. So I'm going to shoot 5-shot groups to get it all sighted in and see which ammunition it likes. Okay, so the first group with the American Eagle, we're shooting a bit high there, but I'd say just over an inch. Yeah, 1.6 inches. Then when we come down to the Hornady, a little bit better there, about 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.4 inches. We had a bit of splash back there throughout the shooting, so I was really excited for a moment there and thought that was all the groups because I couldn't see the tiny holes there, you know, when it was off this reactive target. So anyhow, what I did then was when I came up to the third group, I decided to just bring it down an inch so that we could get everything on film there. But the Winchester 20 grain was just woeful. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think a 5th shot off to the side here. So look, I'm not even going to measure that. That's just terrible. Then I was hopeful with the 25 grain Winchester. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming a 5th shot here somewhere. But once again, you know, not very happy with that. So at this stage, honestly, I think the Hornady or the American Eagle would be the way to go. As you can see, and I had this problem when I was using the 17 WSM with the Ruger 77, if you remember that review. I always had one flyer out of the group with the 17 caliber, which is really frustrating. But still, I mean, look, that's hovering around the inch there at 100. So for what the actual rifle is, I think that's good enough for pest control. So I'm just going to make some finer adjustments now just to get it zeroed completely. Okay, so I'll show you the loading of the mag, guys. You've just got to slip it down under the lip, and the first 5 rounds go in relatively easy. Then once you get to 5 and you're putting the final 5 in, it really starts to get a lot harder. Now they've got a hole in the follower there that you can put, you know, just a punch or something in and drag it down, but why they haven't got a discrete button there to load, I'm not sure. But once you go over 5, you've really got to struggle. Yeah, see, it almost becomes impossible. So, you know, that's 7 rounds, or sorry, 8 rounds in there now. You know, getting the 9th and 10th round in, it's almost impossible. Yeah, so it's a real bugbear, that one for me, guys. Magazine definitely could have been designed better in my view. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the rifle now. Look, there's a lot of things that I don't actually like about the rifle. Let's start off with the first bugbear, the fact that I had to take the Geisley trigger out and replace the factory trigger, you know, so I've got to go back to a heavy standard GI trigger, you know, to be able to use this rifle. There was just too many inconsistencies with the Geisley look, that Geisley trigger works perfectly in standard ARs, even AR-22s and so forth that I've got it in. But yeah, just no go in this rifle. Now, the magazine as well, like, yeah, it's just over-engineered. Just a good lightweight polymer mag I would have liked to have seen. And also the fact that once you get over about 5 rounds, the fact that they don't have just a nice little discreet button that you can push and drag down to help your fingers with loading. The lack of a last round bolt hold open too is a big bugbear of mine. Anyone who uses an AR-15 knows that when you're shooting, fire, last round, hold open, you quickly tilt the rifle, you can see it, drop the mag, another mag on, you know, you just feel that. Where with this, obviously, it doesn't do that. So, you know, it's just like using a 1022, for example. The other bugbear I got, with the front handguard here, I mean, unless you stick with the original Franklin Armory one, anything with, you know, basically some breathing holes in it like this, where it exposes that piston system a little bit more, you're going to get all this basically like brown color of all the crud coming out of that piston over the base of your scope and on the handguard. So yeah, I'm not too happy with that either. Accuracy there. Now, look, the 17 WSM, I've used it in a couple of different rifles now, and the performance of it is absolutely fantastic, but the accuracy, I cannot seem to find any rifle that can shoot a 17 WSM into a neat, ragged 5-shot group at a 100 yards. It just doesn't seem to happen. There's always one little flyer with this cartridge. So yeah, that was evident with this. Some of the ammunition was just terrible, you know, throwing it around to, you know, bigger than your hand basically at 100. So for this rifle, I'd say stick to the Hornady, stick to the American Eagle, and you'll be fine. So guys, look, overall, I'm not 100% sold on the rifle. For the price, I think they could have done way better. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the review, guys. So till next time, we'll catch you then.